attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, 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 yes. Light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. It is Monday night, and you know what that means. It is time to see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this swelteringly hot summer scream fest you just found yourself smack in the middle of. That's what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly, mostly weekly, sometimes weekly gathering where we celebrate all things Michael Myers, Halloween movies, franchise, video games, TV shows, everything Michael Myers right here on the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel. So again, if you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And to everybody else, what is up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a few weeks since our last live stream. And I keep saying we're going to get back on somewhat of a regular basis, and we haven't yet. But I thank you for being here nonetheless. And I think we got a fun one for you tonight. So happy Michael Myers Monday to you guys. Like I always say, it's reason to celebrate just being here. Just surviving another Monday, right? Another week, another month, as it were, since our last live stream, whatever it is. We survived. We made it. We're here. It's Monday night, June 30th, 2025. It's almost July. Can you believe it, you guys? 4 months from now, the actual day, Halloween itself will be upon us. Not that that matters here at Halloween Daily, because every day is Halloween. but it's pretty crazy to think about. At least it is for me. So again, thank you all for being here. To all of our returning friends and to all of our new blood in the audience tonight, welcome and happy Michael Myers Monday to you. I'm going to sip on some warm tea here tonight. That's my beverage at the moment. And check out the live chat over here, see who's checked in. I see a lot of friends. I see a lot of our illustrious channel members like Fall Guy Halloween. It's just $5 a month, guys. You get early access to a lot of our exclusive interviews, of which I'm shooting 2 this week. I can't tell you who it's with yet, but 2 very exciting ones coming up that are going to be dropping next week. And some very exciting stuff in the interview department in the works. I can't talk about it yet, but yeah, very exciting. And if you like the music conversation we're having tonight, if you like the rock a little bit, you might like some of what we got coming your way here this summer here on HDN. So again, memberships are open, $5 a month. Of course, super chats, all that is open and enabled, and every little bit goes to help keep the lights on here at Halloween Daily News and support us, and we do appreciate it. So thank you and happy Michael Myers Monday. All right, I see Megan checked in early. What's up? Jason, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying not to choke down my tea too much. What's that? Jason Yost is working but popped in early. Teen Wolf in the house. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Let's see who else we got here. Scrolling down, David Suber, of course, in the house, lighting them up. What's up, man? Puppet Master is here. Good evening to you, Sammy Presley, another friend of the brand in the house. Happy Michael Myers. And who else we got in here today? Fall Guy Blake, another illustrious channel member. Happy Michael Myers Monday, man. Larry has checked in. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, sir. Derico, thank you for being here as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday and welcome. Always great to see some new blood. The great Rob Windsor checking in as well. Brad's music channel. Definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the music discussion here tonight, Brad. I'm sure you'll have some thoughts and opinions when we get into that in the second half of tonight's show. Let's see. Phil has checked in as well. Who else is over here? Sam has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Yep, sorry for keeping you waiting a few minutes. David has checked in. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Excellent, excellent. We got a great crew coming in here. Team Wolf says, found out more about the Michael Myers father thing. It's from the comic, The First Death of Laurie Strode, where they talked a little bit about his actual father. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I still got to get my hands on those First Death of Laurie Strode comics, and they got to make the third one. Complete that. Yes, Brad, this will be an exciting one. As for music fans, musicians alike, I think. All right. Give me 1 second. Oh, I see the shape is in the house. All right, give me 30 seconds. The shape lurking silently now in the live chat, I see, as it should be on Michael Myers Monday. Welcome, Michael. Good to see you. All right, so we got a good crew in here tonight. A lot of our friends and some new blood as well. Good. So, and hopefully some more will filter in as we're going. Again, spread the word about this, guys. If you like what you see, we're always trying to grow the community, grow the Michael Myers Monday shows here. So don't be shy about hitting the share button, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. If for some reason you haven't yet, turn on those notifications. Larry says, Michael's here in my Laurie Strode 2018 voice. I like that. Yes. I've waited for him. He's waited for me. So, as you may have seen on social media, our main feast for discussion this evening is going to be somewhat of a unique one. We've done some of these fun kind of just Haddonfield's best moms and dads and different things discussions here on Monday night, and this is along those lines. But one I've wanted to do for a while, and one we've hit on in years past, but we've never done just a proper. Let's spend a few minutes and really hone down and focus on this. So we're going to be discussing in the second part of tonight's show songs from the Halloween movies, not the soundtrack tracks, not the score so much, but songs like your Mr. Sandmans and your Don't Fear the Reapers and your Hunter's Moons, all that good stuff. So get ready for all that. And of course, we'll do some shout outs before we get out of here. And of course, I'm not going to do a show if I don't have at least a few little news bites for us to chew on. So we are going to talk about some news here in just a second. But first, I want to remind you guys right now, just for you guys, we don't promote it outside of Michael Myers Monday, but for you guys, 15% off everything in stock in our online store right now. HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. The link is in the description. Use code MMM15, MMM15, 15% off everything in the store. There you go. Always want to make sure I remind you guys of that. Also want to remind you guys that we are presenting our Resurrected Halloween International Film Festival this October here on the outer rim of North Carolina. If you're anywhere near here on the East Coast, make plans to be here the first weekend in October 2nd through 4th. We're going to have indie horror and Halloween-themed films from around the world, special guests, all kinds of cool stuff, and the whole town is getting decked out for Halloween, and that's the kickoff weekend. We're the kickoff event, basically. It's going to be awesome, and it's all happening at an historic 107-year-old theater that might just be haunted too. So make your plans to join us for that this fall. Of course, you can learn lots more anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. What's up, City Kitty? Happy Summerween to you. Yes, we're finding lots of cool Summerween in our Hallow hunting right now. Hope you're catching those videos. I've been posting a lot in the shorts feed from our Hallow hunting escapades in recent weeks because, really every store now taking the Halloween Daily mantra and ethos that we live by and just running with it this year more than ever, with Summerween being a prime example of that. So much ghostly and deathly skeletal imagery, just chilling, having fun, doing summer stuff. Kind of like this one, Beachy Halloween. This one, of course, in honor of Jaws 50th, which we just celebrated, and of course the great Dick Warlock. Hopefully you saw my Jaws unboxing. They were really kind to hook us up with that. Okay, let's get into some news because we actually have a cool little news story to talk about tonight. And shout out to our friend David Suber, the great David Suber here, for bringing this to my attention earlier today. And very excited to see this news. We've got some new Steelbooks coming out of Haddonfield in 2025. That's right. The original, the classic John Carpenter's immortal 1978 Halloween, as well as the 1981 sequel, are getting all new Steelbook releases this September. And we're going to take a look at those right now as we jump over to HalloweenDailyNews.com. And these new Steelbooks are from Scream Factory, which currently has the rights to Halloween 1 and 2 and others. So these will be the 4Ks that were released from Scream Factory previously, but we do have some all new artwork to look at, and I'm going to give you a close-up look at that here in just a second. But that's the new Halloween Steelbook. Let's jump over here, and here you can see it opened up wide, the front and back, and I'll go ahead and give you a quick look at the H2, and then we'll dissect each of these covers here for a minute. But I think this new cover art looks really good. The Halloween. Let's get the regular cover up here. So the Halloween Steelbook is a 2-disc set. It includes the 4K Ultra HD disc as well as a Blu-ray disc. And again, these are exclusively available from Amazon. They are Amazon exclusives, both of these releases, but they are from Scream Factory. So these will, I am pretty sure, it's pretty set that they are going to include the same Scream Factory 4K and Blu-ray as previously released. If there are any new bonus features or any type of new special content included, of course, we'll be updating you on that. But as of right now, as of the Amazon listing, that is not the case. And we'll get to that in just a second. But let's look at what is new here. This new Steelbook artwork. And there's the front cover. It's classic half shot of Michael, half the mask. But what I really like over here is this background image, this artistic image of the stormy night when Michael breaks out of Smith's Grove and he's on top of the station wagon. You can even see he's about to smash the window there in that iconic scene where Nurse Marion is sitting in the passenger seat. Of course, it's one of the rare unmasked moments of Michael. It's before he gets his mask. Nick Castle, of course, filmed the scene unmasked. So just a very cool moment of all the iconic moments in that film to feature on the cover. One I don't think we've ever seen really featured on the cover. And to me, that really just sells this cover image, for me anyway. And of course, the mask looks great, but I just really like that. I called it Michael's mad escape from Smith's Grove in the article that we published today. Of course, the lightning crashing, the blood looking sky, the blood colored sky over there, the red brake lights, making the whole inside of the car look red and bloody. I really dig this artwork a lot. And then, like I said, when you look at the back, and when you open it up, it forms Michael's face, with the spine and going through the middle of it. But and in the background of that back cover, we've got the Myers house, a very cool shot of the Myers house, complete with jack-o'-lantern there on the porch, and it looks like maybe a full moon sky kind of peeking through the trees there. Now, again, the Amazon listing does not list any bonus features at this time, but it does give us a look at the inside artwork as well, which for the 78 film is this classic, much used, often seen set photo of Nick Castle in character as Michael Myers. We see this quite a lot. But I am thankful that there is any inner artwork, because so often in the new 4K and Blu-ray releases, they don't do a lot with inner artwork. But at least with these legacy releases, especially where Scream Factory is concerned, they usually will do that. The Halloween Steelbook, both of these Steelbooks are priced at $44.98, currently available for pre-order from Amazon, and they will be released on September 16th. And the price will, I am sure, eventually go down. I think that's just the pre-order price that Amazon, rather than making it cheaper to pre-order, which they should, and that would be more incentive for us to do it. I think it's actually more expensive than it'll ultimately be once it is released. But nonetheless, it is available for pre-order right now, and I have included our Amazon affiliate link down below. Now, let's look at Halloween 2. Because again, this is the real attraction for these releases. It is these Steelbook cases and the new cover art. So here for H2, of course, we have Michael with the blood tears. Now, with the H2 set, this is actually a 3-disc set. So this will include the 4K, the Blu-ray, and a third disc, which will be the film on DVD. Okay, so 78, for whatever reason, doesn't include the DVD. Maybe they just assume we all have enough 78 DVDs. But H2 does have all 3 discs. And here's that front cover. Again, the same thing. They use half the mask in the foreground with an artistic rendition of iconic moments from the film in the background. In this one, it's Michael kind of walking out of the flames to really kind of hearken towards the climax of the film in the hospital. But then in the background, he's not in the hospital. It's not the hallway. It's a police car, and it's almost, when I first looked at it and I saw a police car back there, I'm like, well, so is that supposed to be Ben Tramer coming out of the fire in a way? I don't know. But anyway, Michael looks cool. I love the silhouette. I love that firewalk moment anyway when Dick Warlock is doing it in the film. I don't think that's what this is supposed to signify, is specifically that firewalk moment. I think it's just the shape, out of the flames, and the flames kind of hearkening back to the finale for us here. But again, I mean, the cool thing with this artwork, much like the 78 Steelbook, is how it comes together to form Michael's full head, full mask, albeit with the spine through the middle. And then you've got more artwork on the back. In the background of this one, it is, of course, Haddonfield Memorial Hospital with Laurie there on the pavement, crawling and trying to scream for help me. And one more very notable thing for the H2, their inner artwork, check this out. Now, this is not an actual scene from the film. I mean, we do have the scene where Loomis comes in and sees the Samhain written in the classroom, and that decoration is there. I had to go back and watch the scene today, actually. I'm like, I don't even remember that witch decoration being there, or those streamers, but it's all there. It is all there in the scene. It's just we never get this exact shot in the film. So this is one of Kim Gottlieb Walker's set still photos, I imagine. But a really cool shot to go with for the inner artwork, I think. I mean, that Samhain moment where you see Samhain written is just always one of the coolest moments in H2, and often, maybe too often, forgotten or overlooked when people were talking about coolest moments from H2. But, you guys know me and how much I love vintage Halloween and all things vintage Halloween. So that vintage witch decoration just looks really cool right there. And just a very interesting, not common image associated not commonly with Halloween 2 to go with for the inner artwork, as opposed to going with one of the most commonly used images of Nick Castle's Michael Myers in the inner artwork of the 78. So I like that a lot. So overall, I like both of these Steelbook art choices. And again, they are both available for pre-order right now, exclusively from exclusively from Amazon, to be released officially on September 16th. And again, they are priced at $44.98. And but that's not all, because simultaneously today we were also made aware of another 4K re-release of the Scream Factory 4K. This one exclusively available from Walmart and also up for pre-order right now at Walmart.com. And this one has a shipping date marked as August 27th. And it's interesting, it's got this new slipcase cover here, this orange and black slipcase. And other than that, it's the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc that we just described, with the Scream Factory bonus features. And this cover even is really the exact cover that Walmart has been using in recent years, where they'll put out a bunch of horror DVDs every Halloween. And usually it's something like this. And over the years, they've done different color variations. They've done green before, I think maybe blue at one point, maybe red. I'm sure they've done orange at other times. The difference with this particular release this time being that it is not just a DVD, but in fact the 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray disc here. But if you are obsessed with these Walmart covers, or need every piece of physical media that you can own from this film, trust me, I get it. I hear ya. Then you're gonna have to snatch this one up too from Walmart. And again, it is available for pre-order right now for $26.96. And that one you can see the bonus features listed on the back. And if you zoom in and look, it is the essentially all the same stuff that came on the previous, the most recent Scream Factory 4K release of these two films. So it's that packaging and that cover artwork that's the upgrade here. So I will leave it up to you guys. Is it worth the upgrade for you? Obviously, for collectors, this not everybody's going to need their 10th copy of John Carpenter's Halloween, just because it's got new artwork. But certainly collectors like myself are going to want to own these, and a lot of people specifically love the Steelbooks, and collect the Steelbooks. And so in that case, I mean, these are kind of must owns if you're a Halloween Steelbook collector specifically. So I'll turn it over to you guys now on those new 4K releases. They are from Scream Factory. Like I said, the Steelbooks are exclusive to Amazon, coming out September 16th. And then, according to Walmart's website, in late August 27th, their version comes out, not with the Steelbook cover, but with that new orange and black, new-ish, that new-ish orange and black slipcase. Excuse me. All right. So, let's see. I'm going to turn over here to the live chat before we go into just another couple little merch updates before we get into our main discussion for the evening. What do you guys think of that new artwork? I dig it. A lot of times with these, it's kind of touch and go sometimes with these legacy releases. And I'm at a weird place with it, because, I didn't buy the most recent Scream Factory 4K release of those films. I still need to own them. But at the same time, I'm not like I don't have all the Steelbooks that have come out either. I'm not like a big Steelbook collector. I do own the original film on 4K, um, but don't own H2 on 4K yet. So this might be the occasion for that. I don't know. I'm definitely going to wait and see if that price comes down a little bit, which I anticipate it will after release. I hope. That's a little steep, but again, man, that art looks really beautiful to me. You guys tell me what you think. What's up, Pedro's? Pedro says, got to get all of them. The Walmart one releases on your birthday. Awesome. Excellent. Well, there you go. Your birthday for this year is now sorted, right? What's up, Tim? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Yeah, David says the Steelbooks look cool. I think so too, man. I think they look really nice. And thank you again, David, for bringing those to my attention. Um, I hadn't seen anybody post about it or anything from that, and David, you were the first one to give me a heads up on that, so I do appreciate that. And they do. I really like both artwork. I'm wondering if we're going to see parts 4 and 5 or part 3 in Steelbook as well. What's up, Brett? Another illustrious channel member in the house. Welcome, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Steelbooks look great, but might have to pass on the Walmart edition. It's that time of year where our fandom depletes our bank account. That's right. Yes. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, again, I would like to own every single version. If I could have my way, of course I would. But yeah, I am at a weird place with that where I'm not exactly jumping on every re-release lately. I should though. Those Scream Factories are really really nice, but honestly, I do kind of like the artwork of these uh, steelbooks better than the artwork on the standard 4K Scream Factory releases that we got most recently. And that artwork was good. I like that artwork, but these two, yeah, I I like that more, especially the focusing on the escape moment in H1. I think that's a really cool um, decision, and I did not see it listed who the artist is on Amazon, or I would credit. If anybody knows or finds out, we'll update on that as well. Yeah, Brett says H50 will be here before you know it. Need to start saving. Yeah, yeah. I should probably start saving now. I'm not even exaggerating, and I know you're not either. Yeah, should start saving now for H50. I think. God, can you imagine the exclusives they're going to have at that? Whew, good gosh. So, all right, keep that discussion going. Like I said, if you're ready to throw down and pre-order those steelbooks, links are in the description, and you can snatch them up right now. If you do, once you get them and you do your unboxing, tag us in some photos. I want to see how they look in person. And of course, we don't know if there's any different artwork on the discs themselves. I'm betting they're going to be the same discs that Scream Factory used for the previous releases. I bet. Okay, so we do have some other merch updates just briefly here to jump into. Aside from that, as you know, Spirit Halloween is dropping a lot of their new 2025 merch and making it available, and we are constantly checking for more Michael Myers related items, and well, we did get a new one here just recently, and this I actually predicted. It might have been during our last Michael Myers Monday live session here, we were talking about the new neon sign that Spirit put out for 2025, a new Michael Myers Halloween 2 neon sign. And I was speculating of what other new Michael Myers items might come, and one of my guesses / predictions turned out to be correct. Check it out. I said after last year's release of the Michael Myers Horror Baby, that it only makes sense this year we're going to get a mini Michael Myers Horror Baby, and sure enough, right on cue, Spirit Halloween released the mini Michael Myers Horror Baby for $15, available right now online at spirithalloween.com. I've included a link down below where you can get yours, and it is identical to the full size. It's just the miniaturized version. And if you're keeping track, 2 years ago, Spirit released their first horror licensed horror babies, and it was a wave that consisted of Ghostface, Leatherface, Sam from Trick or Treat, and Pennywise. And then last year in 2024, they released that first wave in miniature form and released a second wave that included Art the Clown and that H2 Michael Myers that you just saw there. Like I said, that along with that neon sign is in stock online at spirithalloween.com right now. The sign is still in stock, as is the Horror Baby, and as is the full-size Horror Baby. Down here you can see that full-size Horror Baby, which we own, is priced at $55. And this is quite notable here, though, that if you didn't see our post on social media the other week, the much sought after, very quick to sell out in 2024, light up Halloween 2 poster pumpkin replica. Now this is they call it the Michael Myers pumpkin statue. That's ridiculous, whoever named it that. This is not supposed to look like Michael Myers, everybody knows. This is the poster pumpkin replica. Even when I first saw it, I was calling it the opening credits replica. It's not that at all. It is literally a replica of the pumpkin from the H2 poster specifically. And it is glorious and magnificent. And it is back in stock right now for just $47 while they last, ready to ship. They're limiting just 2 units per order, so you want to get your hands on that if you haven't already. And if you haven't seen one up close yet, here's a 1-minute look at ours from my showcase video from 2024. Yes, and here is my guest star for the evening, another flashback showcase. I was going to bring the pumpkin down here too. It's upstairs in our living room on display right now. But this guy was just itching to get some camera time here. There's a little Mikey Myers, my H2 horror baby. And you can see his showcase video and unboxing video on the channel as well anytime you feel like it. But yeah, I love this dude. You know, Spirit did zombie babies for years, every variation of a zombie baby, and so it's only inevitable that they would give the slashers the horror baby treatment. But here he is. I'm almost life size to what an actual baby's size would be. So he's pretty cool. Crying his blood tears, which might be the most fitting time for the blood tears. You know, I don't know. But again, they won't last long online. That's for sure. They won't last long in physical stores, especially that pumpkin. This guy either. They're going to sell out. The Sidestepper from last year's in stock online right now, too. I still got to get my hands on that one. And now we'll see if my other prediction that I predicted of what Spirit might release regarding Michael Myers this year in 2025 comes true. And this is the one I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that they do. Because last year, they did their first foray into turning our horror icons, our beloved killers, into blow molds. And if you'll recall, last year we got that awesome Sam blow mold and a Ghostface blow mold. Just like they gave us Michael in Wave 2 of the horror babies, are we going to get a Michael in Wave 2 of the horror blow molds? I think so. I think that's what we need. Come on, Spirit. Make my hallowed dreams come true. If so, that'd be like probably my most wanted Myers related item from Spirit, maybe from anywhere this year. I don't know. What do you guys think of the new merch we've seen? It's been a little bit quiet on the new merch right now, but that's not just limited to Michael Myers or Spirit Halloween. That's everybody. You know, even the big retailers like Home Depot, suspiciously very quiet regarding their animatronics right now and everything. I think you can imagine what some of that has to do with, you know, international trade and all that stuff. But in any case, 'tis the season for more reveals now, right? So I've got the full unboxing of this guy in showcase video, like I said, up on the channel elsewhere. You can check it out, and it's about 10 or 12 minutes. I could play it here, but we're rolling along. I think we're just going to keep rolling and get into our music discussion here in just a minute. You guys, though, give me your thoughts on the horror baby phenomenon. Do you own any of them? Do you own the Michael? If you own the full-size Michael, do you have to own the mini Michael? I know some of you collectors what the answer is. And that'd be a duh, yeah, of course. I think I'll probably have to own the mini one too. Spirit was cool enough to actually send me Wave 1 in miniature form last year. So I've got the mini Ghostface, Leatherface, Sam, and Pennywise, which is really awesome. And they hooked us up with that, which was really cool. So shout out Spirit for that. Yes, David would like to see the Myers blow mold too. I bet it's going to happen. Now I have even more confidence saying that we were right about the mini horror baby. Yeah, definitely going to need that. Like yeah, that's going to be a must own. I did end up getting the Sam last year, thankfully. The Sam blow mold. All right. All right, guys. If you would give me just a minute here, I'm gonna play this pre-recorded merch advertisement, and then when we come back, we will begin our discussion of the best songs from the Halloween movies. Hey, everybody! I want to show right in the Halloween, many different styles, colors, all sizes, including the original HDN Classic, our special Triple M crew design for the Michael Myers Monday regulars out there, and our brand new What Would John Carpenter Do design. All of these are available, like I said, multiple sizes, colors, and styles on t-shirts. And that's not all. We've got other merch available like mugs and stickers and lots of other cool stuff. Check it out now at the merch link in the description of this video. All right, here we go. We are back live, and we are going to get into our main discussion now. Let me see if I can pull everything up on here so we are ready to go. Hope you guys ready to talk some music, because that is the overall subject of this discussion. I'm just trying to pull up my imagery here so you guys can see some of what I'm going to be talking about. Sorry guys, it's taking me just a second to get everything queued up on here. All right. And now I've frozen up on camera, it appears. All right. Well, let's see if we can unlock that. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Are we back now? Sorry about all that. All right, let's try this again. All right. So, hope you're ready to talk some music, because we are talking music of the Halloween movies, but not just music, not the soundtracks, not those iconic scores by John Carpenter and Alan Howarth and Tyler Bates and John Carpenter some more. You know, they are phenomenal. We all know that. We love the Halloween soundtracks. I love the Halloween soundtracks. But what we're talking about here in this discussion is some of the other music featured prominently, and maybe some that you didn't even know was in some of these movies. But there's some really great songs featured throughout all 13 of the films over the years, and we're going to talk about some of them right now. And I'm going to go somewhat chronologically, kind of through the films, and pick out just some of my personal favorites as far as how they were used in the film, and choices they were made, and some that have recurred from time to time and become part of the tapestry of this franchise. So let's get into this right now. Talk about the best songs from the Halloween movies, and of course, this discussion has to start with this one. Don't Fear the Reaper, of course, by Blue Oyster Cult. It is such a classic song to begin with. It's used so prominently and so memorably in the original 78 film. I could talk forever about just that scene, and how that song is the one playing on the radio as Michael is following Laurie and Annie. And it's just so fitting, because Michael is kind of the Reaper, and of course they're not in fear of him at that time, because they don't even know that he's after him at that time. And but that's not the only original song from the original film. Of course, right before that, a little band called the Coupe de Villes had their original song on the radio as well. That band being, of course, John Carpenter, Nick Castle, and Tommy Lee Wallace. And again, just that being in there is just part of the overall legend of John Carpenter and his crew, his guys. The fact that they would do that, the fact that they were into music so much that for fun they just formed their own band. Then of course they're gonna put their own track on the radio in there. You just gotta love all of that, and just how much fun they were having, while at the same time being practical. Hey, something's gotta be on the radio before the song we just spent all this money on to pay Blue Oyster Cult to use. What's something that we can use for free? And so there you go. So I love the use of that as well. But Don't Fear the Reaper, and of course, that's not the only time we would see that film. It would or that song in a Halloween film. It would, of course, resurface later in Rob Zombie's remake, and then as the closer in the most recent film, of course. But we'll get to that. For now, let's move on to Halloween 2, and another song that has really become very much a part of the tapestry of the Halloween franchise, and that is, of course, Mr. Sandman, originally by the Chordettes here. Or is that the Chordettes? I think it's the Chordettes, maybe. This song, as used in Halloween 2, and then again in Halloween H2O, and then again in the Rob Zombie remake. So again, 3 appearances throughout the 13 films, and I think it works because it is so kind of old school and just kind of happy, but then they're talking about Mr. Sandman, and you hear about the Sandman in general, and just you start paying attention to those lyrics, and it really just gives it kind of this kind of creepy undertone that I don't know was ever intended for it, but certainly the way it's used in Halloween 2, and then of course reused and referenced back in those others. It really gives that song, it makes it a Halloween song to me, being in these Halloween movies as prominently as it is. Don't Fear the Reaper could arguably already have been a Halloween season song, just with the lyrics that they're talking about on there, even if it was never featured in any movies about Halloween. But Mr. Sandman, I don't know that necessarily would, but now eternally connected to Halloween in this franchise, if you ask me. So, um, right there, that's two of the biggest right off the bat. That the first two films give us that the other films have referenced so many times and have really, those songs. Like I'll never listen to those two songs and not think of Michael Myers personally. And so that's effective use of a non-score, non-instrumental soundtrack piece of music in cinema, if you ask me. All right. Now, H3 and H4. Now, H3, one of my favorite original songs in H3 is actually not technically a song, but it's the Silver Shamrock jingle. And I kind of count that. It is part of the score, and it's not really a song, but I kind of count that. I've included a playlist called Haddonfield Radio, and it's a Spotify playlist. It's in the description of this video right now, and you'll find that on there, and you'll find all of these that we're going to talk about here tonight and more on there. And I open it up to you as we go, because again, this is not going to be an exhaustive list by any means of every song ever used in all 13 movies, because there's a lot more than you would imagine. But again, these are some of my favorites that stand out, some of the ones that I always like their use and just like in general. And but there are going to be some that I've overlooked and some that I'm just not thinking of right now for whatever reason. And I invite you to chime in. That being said, outside of the Silver Shamrock jingle, not a lot of original song featured in H3 and H4. But when we get to H5, we get this great kind of 80s hair metal song by the band White Sister, and it's called Dancing on Midnight, and it's featured in Halloween 5 during part of the party scene out at the Tower Farm. And it just goes by so quick, but the song's out there. The band their entire discography is out there on Spotify, and it's a great track, and just a fun moment that captures that 1989 Halloween 5 feel, which is admittedly, a little cheesy at times, a little goofy at times. I'm thinking of the police officers in Halloween 5 specifically. But this song totally fits the mood of the era, and lyrically, Dancing on Midnight, it's kind of cool. It kind of fits for a Halloween party. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Let's go back to this for a minute. This is actually from the music video for the song "And Fools Shine On." That's not a still from The Curse of Michael Myers, but many of you will recall that the closing credits of the 1995 sequel, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, featured a song that was kind of a hit song of that time, around that time. It was by the band Brother Kane. The song is And Fools Shine On, and like I said, this still is from their official music video, and for that song. And I thought it was kind of cool at the time that, they, of all the songs to end with, that it was kind of like this alternative rock song, which, I was into that type of music. I was always into a little heavier than that, but I liked it. I definitely thought it was a cool choice. And the theatrical cut of Curse. As I mean, Alan Howarth recorded two whole soundtracks for that. Ultimately, he when they finally released the producer's cut, Alan made a whole new soundtrack for that, and then he made the theatrical soundtrack much heavier. With it works in the guitar and all that. And while overall, if I got to pick a favorite cut of H6, I always go with the producer's cut. But I do like Alan Howarth's kind of more heavy metal soundtrack too, in a lot of ways. And this song, ending with that, kind of went with that. But mostly, I just thought it was kind of a cool, just kind of cool that they picked a rock band, and not even like a huge rock band at the time, but kind of an up and coming to go with then. Then with H2O, they would use another band that wasn't exactly up and coming and was pretty huge at the time. Of course, I'm talking about Creed, and their song "What's This Life For," used pretty prominently in the early part of H2O, and that was a moment where I was never a huge fan of the band or that song in particular myself, but that moment where it's used, it just really screams 1998. It's very much of the era of the time. It is what characters like John and Molly in that movie would probably be listening to, or at the very least, it would definitely be on the radio if they had the radio on. So it certainly makes sense for that time period, and it was just kind of cool that in this instance, Halloween was so big that they're using like a big hit song right there in H2O, which we hadn't seen very much. I mean, like I said, it's a far cry from Dancing on Midnight, where it's kind of a deep cut. Now, when we get into the Rob Zombie films, of course, there's no shortage of amazing songs featured. Like, I mean, yeah, Zombie loves a needle drop, does he not? And I love his use of a lot of them. I mean, I think a lot of it is just really what's the word I'm looking for? Well, his soundtracks, I mean, he's got some good rock tunes on there. And the remake actually opens with Kiss's God of Thunder, which I still remember sitting in the theater watching that remake for the first time, and that bass drum comes in, and it's just, oh man. And then the first thing you see is Michael already wearing his clown mask, of course played by Dag, and he's screaming through the mask at Judith in the bathroom, and I just remember, Kiss is blasting. He's wearing the Kiss t-shirt, and I just remember watching it in the theater for the first time thinking, man, we are not in John Carpenter's Haddonfield anymore, are we? But it was awesome. It was like I always say, it's totally different, but for what it is awesome. And I love that as the intro song. And of course, I'd be remiss not to talk about Zombie's significant use of the classic track "Love Hurts" by Nazareth. I mean, really bringing the title and the lyrics to this one a whole new meaning, as Michael is sitting there on Halloween night, just feeling all depressed, about to start doing some killing, some more killing, intercut with his mom at Rabbit in Red, dancing, the songs playing, and just a really, again, Zombie does this a lot with his films. He'll take these classic rock tunes and kind of use them in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to be used. And so this definitely puts somewhat ironic and just different twist on it, but a great song, a great classic song, and um, yeah, maybe the most iconic, effective use of it in uh, in a movie. I don't know. And then of course, Zombie returns to it at the end of his sequel, and does a different, a slower cover version of it. So, um, you know, in his own way, making Nazareth and Love Hurts its own significant part of the musical tapestry of Haddonfield. Now, moving into Halloween 2, there are so many songs again that I can single out, just like with Rob's Halloween remake. But one that is, of course, used so notably, and I've always loved the song, but seeing it in this movie, now I hear it again, and all I think of is this sequence in the movie. Of course, I'm talking about Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues. Always a very moody song, no pun intended, if you'll pardon the pun, I guess. Um, but but the way it's used in there, and if you've seen that work print trailer that was never officially released for the film, in which they used that song, and maybe that's why it was never the official trailer, but it's such a better just advertisement for that movie. And they used that song, which I thought was brilliant. But again, it's Rob Zombie taking a song not really associated necessarily with horror, certainly with Halloween, and totally just redefining how we listen to it by how he uses it. So I love the use of Nights in White Satin in H2. And H2's got so many songs, so much so that Rob, they even created their own. Jeff Daniel Phillips' character is that host character at the party, and they even put out a whole album of the band playing there, Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures. They put out a whole album. There's like 3 songs that are featured in the soundtrack that you see them playing in that party scene and the scenes that take place at the party. But there's a whole album with other songs in there. And now musically, it's I don't know, rockabilly, I guess is what you would call it. It's kind of just kind of almost hillbilly-ish metal in a way. Rockabilly, I guess, is the only way I can really describe it. Um, an interesting choice for as far as the musical genre, but seeing as this is supposed to be basically a local band, probably, or a regional band playing a local Haddonfield, Illinois Halloween party, yeah, they, that's like the type of music they would have there, probably. But have you heard all those songs? The Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures songs? And like I said, there are so many songs in Rob's movies, in both of them. Like I said, Don't Fear the Reaper resurfaces again in the background of the remake. Um, in H2, there's a lot just kind of going on in various moments that you don't even notice. But just one of the best Halloween songs in general is, of course, Misfits' Halloween. Rob actually uses Misfits' B-side, Halloween 2, in the soundtrack for his Halloween 2, which I, again, I think is awesome. Actually, I think it might be the soundtrack of the remake, excuse me. Um, I might have that mixed up. I believe it's the remake that Misfits is in. But just a great song either way, both Halloween and Halloween 2. yeah, Misfits, Rocket. We play those in regular rotation around our house all the time, as is. Oh, we're not quite to that. Well, I guess we are to that one. Yes, we are to the most recent trilogy now. And the most recent trilogy, David Gordon Green, Blumhouse Halloween films, um, has also given us some significant songs within the franchise. But one of the ones that I absolutely love their decision to go with was when they actually took Laurie's little song that she sings. I wish you had you all to myself. What's the line, Uh, in 78, and they actually made a song that sounded like a song that would have been recorded and released in the 70s. They used it in the 2018 film. It's playing in the background of the whole Lumpy and his dad sequence. It's performed by Heavy Young Heathens. It is included in my Spotify playlist, but unfortunately, the song itself is no longer available on Spotify at the moment. Anyway, at last check today, I don't know why. It's a shame because it is just, again, so cool that they took and again, Jamie Lee Curtis credited as a co-writer because she said that she kind of made that up on set at the time. Um, just one of the cool details of Halloween 2018 that a lot of people might not even realize went into it, or if you're listening to it, you don't even know. They play it in the closing credits as well. And you can get kind of the whole experience. It's in the background on the radio during the Lumpy scene, but they do play it in its entirety during the closing credits of 2018. But it's not a song from the 70s. It's a song from 2018, written and recorded for this film, done to sound as if it was written and recorded and released circa 1978. Just brilliant. Uh, um, yeah, just brilliant. All right. Now, so then we get to Halloween Kills. And again, like I said, this is not by any means an exhaustive list. This is simply some of uh, some of the highlights, most of the highlights, we'll say, but it's not all of them. Now, Kills had a couple tracks, but most notably the Ghost track, Hunter's Moon. And if you guys remember, that was released. It was right after we did a Michael Myers Monday here, and then they dropped that track. It was like after midnight, and I was all stoked sharing it with everybody. We had just gotten done here, and we got a new Carpenter track from the score at the same time on the same day. It was just such a magical, exciting time. But Ghost, extremely theatrical, horror-based band. So aesthetically, they fit the brand and the franchise perfectly. I do like the soundtrack version of the song. I think it's the soundtrack version I like more than the album version. I don't know. It might be the album version that I actually like a little bit more than the version they ultimately put in the soundtrack. It's mixed slightly differently. And I think it's actually the other version I prefer if I'm going to pick one. But badass cover art here for the single, too, by the way. I love that. And Michael's mask makes an appearance in the official video for Hunter's Moon, if you haven't seen that. So be sure to seek that out, too. if you haven't watched that yet. But I thought that was a pretty cool inclusion in that franchise or in that film, and not really something that was super. Well, I didn't expect it anyway. But again, I thought it was really cool to have one of like the top bands within the metal community represented in what was, the horror movie of the moment, being Halloween Kills. And then moving into Halloween Ends. Let's talk about that for a minute, because Halloween Ends uses has a great soundtrack actually, and uses a bunch of songs, many of which are great for just your general Halloween playlist, your Halloween holiday playlist. Um, and one of which, I mean, I like the song that opens the movie. The movie actually, it's Midnight Monster Hop, which was also recently removed from Spotify. I don't know why, but that's a good one. There's a lot of good ones on that soundtrack. But one of the classics from Halloween Ends is the Dead Kennedys song Halloween, and of course it's such a cool moment in the movie where Corey and Allison are at the Halloween party, and they go wearing their masks, their Scarecrow and Black Cat, and eventually they're not. They're out there dancing, and it's this song playing, and actually, when I interviewed the film's co-writer and the novelization author, Paul Brad Logan, he explained that that whole dance they're doing is choreographed. That if you really watch it, there it basically tells Corey and Allison's whole story in that dance, including it ending with Corey laying down on his back on the ground, Allison standing over him, which is how their story ultimately ends. So a cool moment in the film, it's like some genuine happiness for the two of them to be able to cut loose and enjoy this moment. And then, of course, very soon after that, they don't have much more fun throughout the rest of the movie. Um, but again, a classic, just Halloween song, great song for Halloween itself, and just a great addition to this soundtrack. Now, like I said, I've got an entire playlist of Haddonfield radio friendly songs from these films. And I'm going to pull that up for you now so you can see just a taste of some of the other ones that we haven't even hit on here tonight, because there are just so many. You can see some of the ones we talked about, but I mean, going back to Rob Zombie's movies, he's using Alice Cooper's Only Women Bleed right before Daniel Harris is attacked. He's of course Tom Sawyer, the Rush song. I love the use of that in '07. Um, More cool metal buried within H2. There's Am I Evil by Diamond Head playing in one of the scenes. There's an Iron Maiden song, Face in the Sand. Um, a classic, awesome, very fitting Motorhead song, The Chase is Better Than the Catch. We talked about some of the Captain Clegg songs. Going back to Kills, I love the Stop, Look, and Listen, It's Halloween song. That's another one I really love from Kills. It's the one that the Johns are playing as they're getting ready to throw down. There's the Boy Harsher song, Burn It Down, from In's soundtrack as well. I like that one a lot. The I Was a Teenage Werewolf by the Cramps. I mean, just so many um, good ones over the years. And again, this isn't even all of them. This is just some, this is like literally about 25, 26 of the highlights that I've pulled out and made note of over the years. But I'm sure there are ones that I've overlooked and other ones that we're just not discussing tonight because we just don't. We'd be here all night to talk about every single one of them. So when we talk about ends, then and we're talking about music, songs in the Halloween movies, you know, we have to bring it back to where we started because Halloween ends so brilliantly, in my opinion. It ends with "Don't Fear the Reaper," and I could talk forever about why I love that they chose that song to roll over the credits at the end of the movie, um, but I just think it's a perfect choice, and I think it brings it back full circle. It's the third time the song is used in the franchise. Again, indelibly tying it to Haddonfield, to Michael Myers in so many ways, um, and just reminds you after watching Ends and watching the most recent trilogy of where all this started, and it's just a cool way to harken back to 78 all them years later. And it kind of, in a lot of ways, I mean, the lyrics are great, and you can take a lot of different things from the lyrics of the song. Um, but you could argue that it kind of goes along with a lot of what Laurie is saying at the end of Halloween Ends. So, even more reason that it be fitting like that. So, I love that it wraps up with that. So I'm not going to do a ranking or anything here, but if I got to pick one of these songs featured to be my personal favorite, both in terms of just as a song, as the composition of a song, as what it means to me personally, as to what it means in the films that it's been used, and to the franchise in general. For me, yeah, I I got to go with "Don't Fear the Reaper." I mean, it's a masterpiece, and it's been used in this franchise so effectively. So, if I got to pick one, but all the ones we've talked about tonight, I like. Some of them I really like, and some of them I really love how they are used in these films. Um, Sometimes just for fun and unexpectedly, but other times just really like, oh man, that is the perfect song for that moment right now. But very often it's like, wow, I never would have put this song with this imagery, and I think that's why it often works. Like the Mr. Sandman, or even like something like Tom Sawyer. I wouldn't put that with Michael Myers, but then it's such a cool moment when that does kick in, and you're just like, yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with Halloween lyrically, but I get it. It kind of does in a way. Um, so tell me the ones that I missed. Check out my Spotify playlist, the Haddonfield Radio playlist. I put it down in the description here. Listen to that. Listen to the other ones we didn't talk about. Tell me what other tracks we overlooked that we didn't talk about here tonight that we should have spent more time on. What are some of your favorites? What are some of your less favorites? You're like, yeah, I wish they didn't have that song in there and they should have used this. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your opinions on all of this. Um, but again, those are some of my picks. I hope you enjoyed that. It's something that I've wanted to do here for a while, just kind of talk about, the music of these films. The scores we talk about all the time, and that'd be its own discussion for a different night where we talk just about these amazing scores. Um, Another night I am going to talk about, and we've talked about some of this before, but we're going to have one night where we focus just on music, not from the movies, but referencing the movies. And even that, there's two whole categories. There's a category of songs that are about Michael Myers in these movies, and that's gonna be one of our music night discussions here. It'll be like a quadruple M for those nights. It'll be Michael Myers Music Monday. That's what tonight is, Michael Myers Music Monday. And we're gonna do some other ones. And one of the ones will be other songs that are about this franchise. Another whole category is songs that aren't in the movies and they aren't about these movies, and yet they still reference Michael and or these movies. It'll all make sense when we go over them, if it doesn't right now. But I love talking about this type of stuff, just like, references to Michael within the other films that aren't within the franchise, within TV series, Michael's guest appearances on video games and other forms of media. Yeah, I want to talk about all of that here on Triple M, here on future episodes. So, and if you've got ideas along those lines, let me hear you, because I am open to all of that. I've got a lot of those topics lined up that we're going to be discussing here in the coming weeks here. Another one is Michael's mini masks that aren't necessarily his main mask. Again, these are all things we've talked about, but to really devote like a full discussion on, I think is going to be fun. Other people in these films that have worn Michael's mask. We're going to do all these discussions here this summer over the next couple weeks here on Michael Myers Monday Live. So get ready, get your thinking caps on, get your brain ready for to chew on some of that, and now you can crank out. You can bust out my playlist, crank up some Michael Myers tunes, and tell me down in the comments or right here in the live chat which of these are your personal favorites. What do you think of my breakdown of these songs? My opinion of how they were used. I want to hear from you guys. Real quick now, I'm going to jump over here, do a couple shout outs. We'll do one last check in the live chat before getting out of here. You guys know what's up. Every Michael Myers Monday we are here. And even if we're not here on the live stream, we are here. I mean, here in the ethos on the internet doing the Michael Myers Triple M celebration of all things shape. And so kicking it off, tonight's shout outs, we're jumping over to Instagram with Hooked on Horror, reminding us that it's just 123 days to go, and they're just here chilling, waiting for Halloween. Another one from Instagram from our friend Dig Ferrick at Great Dig Official, sharing some remake love and wishing us all a happy Michael Myers Monday. Love that. Love Dave for always repping every week. Let's jump over here to the sky that is blue. Blue Sky from Ross Silly says good morning and happy Michael Myers Monday. With this one we've all seen a million times. I wonder who that is that was filmed that. Did they have any clue that this was going to go viral like this? Jumping over here to Threads. This thread is from Spooky Gage. Says good morning and happy 27th Michael Myers Monday of 2025. These are my spooky Michael Myers workout pants. Okay. Cool workout pants. Very summery. I like that. Look at the ghost with the glasses on and the jack-o'-lantern, but with the flower petals around it. Wow, that's very nice. Fitting for the summer, I'll say. Another one from Threads. This is Miss Horror 2 Def says, happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm obsessed with this Halloween tune, Neon Sign. And we were just talking about that. And there it is, lit up. And one more for this week from Threads. This is from Myers of TC. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Since I can't wear the mask to work, it's fitting that I wear my new Michael Myers Hawaiian shirt instead. I dig that Hawaiian shirt. I would rock that Hawaiian shirt. Hell yeah. But is it really a Hawaiian shirt? It's a Haddonfield shirt, right? It's a Haddonfield Island shirt. Let's call it that. Haddonfield Island shirt. All right, guys. Every Monday, use the hashtags. Tag us on your social media platform of choice and shoot us a DM. You never know, you might be featured right here in a shout out on Michael Myers Monday Live. Want to remind you guys to subscribe if for some reason you're watching and for some reason you still haven't. If you watch this long, you might as well subscribe because we do stuff like this all the time. And you might like to join us some more. We'd love to have you. And if you are already subscribed, make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss anything because we've got a lot going on right now. It's easy to get overwhelmed and miss things. Like I said, a lot of cool interviews coming up. I'm shooting one tomorrow that I'll probably be announcing either tomorrow afternoon or on Wednesday. I got another one coming up later on this week that I'm very excited to announce for you guys. And I got some other really big stuff in the works. And I'll just say, as far as franchise news, I know it might seem a little bit slow right now. Don't think I'm not working for you guys. Also, don't think I'm not seeing, I know there's rumors and stuff out there about the video game. I'm seeing all that stuff. It's just, we don't typically deal with rumors and stuff that we can't confirm. I don't really want to talk about that with you guys necessarily if I can avoid it unless I have something that I can really share with you guys, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm working on that. Don't think I'm not working on that just because I'm not talking about it all the time. Same with the TV series, all that stuff. I'm working on getting updates on all that, and there will be news coming, and just like there'll be more merch news coming. So don't think that stuff isn't happening, and that it's not constantly on my brain trying to get that. It's just I don't want to get our hopes up talking about things where it's like rumors and just other people's opinions. There's a certain amount of that we can do sometimes depending on certain subjects, but when it comes to some stuff, I definitely want to try, if at all possible, to get some confirmation on something or at least something for my own knowledge, so I can share something of significance with you guys that you can actually trust and believe and know is the real deal and is for real if we're talking about it. So I hope all that makes sense for you. I think you all understand what I'm saying about all that. In other words, stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff coming. Hey, it's after midnight. That means it's July now. Can you believe it? It's July 2025. All that means to me is one day closer to October, one day closer to Halloween. Not that it matters, because it's already Halloween. It's always Halloween here at Halloween Daily. That's what we do. That's what we are. And that's what it's all about here. So, happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm sorry about not being on more regular. We're going to get back more regular here now moving forward this summer. So stay tuned for lots more. Plan on joining us, Michael Myers Monday Live. Drop your suggestions in the comments. What do you think upcoming topics should be? Throw some out. Also, guests that you'd like to see on here. We're going to have more guests. Drop some suggestions, though. Of course, we want, the people that we often interview here, actors and filmmakers and people involved in the making of these films. But, don't be afraid to think outside the box, too, because I'm open to inviting and having some other people kind of outside the box a little bit come on, as long as they're down to talk some serious shape talk and show some serious Michael Myers love here. So I'd love to hear your suggestions and your recommendations and your requests on what you want to see here moving forward. I can't promise we can always do it all, but I can promise I will definitely read it all. We will definitely try. And most of all, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you subscribing. We appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, keeping me company this evening. This has been awesome. You guys are awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Happy July 4th if you're celebrating that. We just call it Red, White, and Orange Day. You know, I mean, it's just another Halloween celebration for us, really, right? But hang out your pumpkin flags, your red, white, and orange pumpkin flags, right? You know, maybe put a little American flag in your scarecrow's hand or something if you want. There you go. You know, put out a jack-o'-lantern. You know, maybe with an Uncle Sam hat on top, right? There you go. Have fun with it. Or do none of that and just make yourself a cheeseburger and cut the little jack-o'-lantern face in the cheese. You know, you guys seeing that in your algorithms? I see that every day. I'm doing that this week. I'll take pictures of it. Don't worry. I just carved my first watermelon of the year just the other day. I got to share a photo of that too. So look for that. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. My throat is needing some more warm tea. And I don't know. Maybe something else a little stronger too. We'll see. I'm going to get out of here. Big day tomorrow. Lots of exciting stuff coming here to the channel. And even more is always happening on the main website at HalloweenDailyNews.com. So don't forget to subscribe to the main site. Always be checking that every day. And again, keep the conversation going. Just because we're not live, keep it going down below. If you're watching this on a replay, I appreciate you just as much and look forward to hearing from you as well. So again, to all the new blood, thank you for joining us. To all of our friends, thank you for all your love and support. And to all of you, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys rock. You guys rule. Keep it killer. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.